All right. So let's take a look at example 44 again. All right. What they want to do is you want to find out what that x is. So you want to put everything you know on one side and leave the x, which you don't know, on the other side, and you should get a value for x. So let's say you have this. X plus 7 equals minus 5. Now, how could I transfer this 7 over on that side so I'd only have x left? Because I want to solve for this goddamn x. What I would do is subtract 7 on this side, subtract 7 on this side, and the statement would always be true if you do the same thing to both sides. So it'd be x plus 7 minus 7, which is really saying these 7's cancel. So you'd only have x here left, equals minus 5 plus minus 7 equals minus 12. Now if we look here, boom, that's our solution. So we know x plus 7 equals minus 5. What do we need to do to make that statement true? You just plug minus 12. Let's check that answer. We can always check. So let's put a minus 12 in there. So minus 12 plus 7 equals minus 5. What is minus 12 plus 7 equals? Minus 5 equals minus 5. You see that? Let's do something a little bit more that we can understand. So let's say you have 6 plus 3 equals x plus 4. That looks complicated, right? That looks complicated. But if we do what's written here, we can add these two, right? That equals 9. And we're left with x plus 4. Now, how do I get rid of 4? How do you get rid of 4 planes? Well, you can subtract 4 planes. So minus 4 on this side, minus 4 on this side. So let's do the math. 9 plus minus 4, or 9 minus 4 equals 5. And here I get 4 minus 4, I get just x. X is left, right? 4 minus 4 equals x. So x equals 5. And sure enough, if I put 5 here, 5 plus 4 equals 9. 6 plus 3 equals 9. You see, 9 equals 9. You see how that works? So all you're trying to do is you're trying to find out what's missing. And you do this little trick of adding and subtracting the same things on each side. All right. So let's look at example 45. They're giving us 3, and we're going to do them together. Once again, try to make this as simple as possible. So this is very hard stuff. 4 plus x equals 8. All right. Now remember, I want to isolate, or I want to put in a situation where x is alone and x equals something, because I want to know the answer. I want to know, what do I add to 4 to make it? Now, if you think about it, it's really easy, right? 4 plus 4 equals 8. So we know right away what our answer should be, right? But we're not into guessing. You want to think about these things logically. What we're going to do here in this equation is we're going to subtract 4 from the left side and 4 from the right side. We're going to be left with x, right? Because this cancels out, equals 4. Well, that's what I said right here, right? Because we guessed it. This is guessing. This is doing algebra. Algebra is finding the value of something that's unknown. And it's usually an x. All right? For all your high school, you're always looking for that x. All right. Let's do the other problem. 7 equals x plus 9. Once again, we want to put x alone. We want x to be alone, right? So we got to get rid of these 9 things, right? So we're going to subtract 9, and we got to subtract 9 on the other side too. So 7 minus 9 equals minus 2 equals, cancel this x. So x equals minus 2. All right. Next problem. 5 equals 8 plus x. How do I get rid of this 8 here? Because I want x to be alone. Well, minus 8 here, and minus 8 on the left side, right? Each side you do it. So minus 3 equals x. All right, so now the book goes on to subtraction problems. What's the subtraction problem? It's the same thing as the addition problem, except instead of adding, we're going to be subtracting. So let's take a look at this. Whoop. Boom. So subtraction problems. These are real problems. X minus 5 equals 4. Right? Now, what we're doing here is we're taking 5 off of x, but we just want x alone. So if we have a negative 5 here, right, this is negative, you're subtracting 5, what you're going to do is you're going to add 5 to both sides to cancel, right? Negative 5 plus 5 equals 0. 0. And for those of you who don't remember, right, this is the number line. So negative 5. This is 5. If I'm at negative 5 and I want to go to 0, I have to add 5 to get there, right? That's what I did here. So what's the solution? X equals 4 plus 5, 9. We got it. We got it. Number 47, example 47. Let's get this done. Let's go through all the examples, and that way we know what the heck's going on. Minus 6 plus x equals minus 2. So we have a negative here. Once again, we have the negative. So what I do when I want to get rid of a negative, I add the positive. Plus 6 plus x. No, I don't write that. And we have to add it to the other side too. So minus 6 plus 6 equals what? 0 plus x equals negative 2 plus 6 equals 4. So x equals 4. See that? Once again, here I had a negative 6. I wanted to get rid of it. Here's the number line. Here's 0, 3, 6, minus 3, minus 6. I have a minus 6 here. I'm here on the number line. How do I bring that back to 0? I have to add 6, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to get to 0. That's what I did. All right. Next problem. Problems. Equals x minus 7. So I want to solve for x, right? I want to find the unknown. We don't know what x is. We know what everything else is. I know what minus 10 is. I know what minus 7 is. We don't know what the heck x is. So how do I solve? Simple. You add the same number on both sides. Don't forget to do it on both sides. So minus 7 plus 7 equals 0. X carries down. Minus 10 plus 7 equals minus 3. And what do we got? Do I got the right answer? Yep. Next problem. 5 equals minus 8 plus x. So we want to get rid of everything on the side of the x. We got a pesky minus 8 here, so we're going to add 8 to eliminate it, and we're going to add 8 to the left-hand side to make sure everything is peachy. All right, so 13 equals x. And they got the answer. Now, here's where the killer algebra starts. This is fun and games, but now when you do the multiplication problems, that's the killer. So what are they saying here? We're gonna go through it slowly, and we're gonna try to figure it out. All right. So 4x equals 20. Now, if we think about what 4x means, it means 4 times x equals 20. All right? Now, we want x, but we can't subtract or multiply from 4x, right? Because, like, 4x minus 4 is just 4x minus 4, because remember there's an x here. So what they're saying here is that it's a different thing than just 4, right? This is just 4. This is 4 of something, right? It could be x's or planes. If you have 4 planes here and you subtract 4, you're gonna have 4 planes minus 4. You don't know what. So you're not isolating that x. We want it to be alone, right, on one side. We want x to be alone on one side to solve for it, because then we can say x equals something, Right now we have 4x equals something. We don't know what the heck that is. So the trick is you're going to divide. What you're going to do is you're going to take 4 times x and divide that by 4. And here you're going to do 20 divide by 4. So let's take a look at this. What they're doing here is, that's what they're saying here is 4 times x divided by 4, right? Let's say we knew x. Let's say it's 2. So it's 4 times 2 divided by 4. So 4 times 2 is 8 divided by 4 equals 2, right? It's the same thing. We can do that. 4 times x divided by 4 in the order of operations. What it says is we do the multiplication and division as we see it. So 4 times x equals 4x, and then you divide it by 4. Now, this is the confusing part. When you're multiplying, like here, remember we couldn't do it 4x minus 4, we couldn't do it, we couldn't do anything with that. Here, because we're multiplying and dividing, if I have 4 planes, this is a plane, and I take those 4 planes and I divide it by 4, I have 1 plane left. The same way that if I have 1 plane and I multiply it by 4, I have 4 planes. Notice that's very different from saying 4x minus 4. 4 planes minus 4, you don't know, just nothing. It doesn't subtract the number of planes. It could be anything. It could be like flies. It could be anything, but it's just 4. This is what the difference between multiplying and division and adding and subtracting. When you multiply something x divided by something, you can do it because you're just dividing the number of things over which you have. Let's do the examples and maybe it'll sink in. This is really hard stuff. So here we have 4x equals 20. And what they're saying here is divide both sides by 4 and you'll get your solution. So 4 divided by 4 equals 1. Bring down the x. 20 divided by 4 equals 5. Now the 1 here, anything multiplied by 1 is whatever you're multiplying it by. So you can erase that 1. So x equals 5. That's the answer. All right, let's do it again.